Thank you, Congresswoman Crockett. Thank you, Breon, for all the work you've done, Senator Cardin, and the many champions of justice that are supporting this essential piece of legislation. I'm honored to be up here with you all today, working on this amazing piece of legislation and just you all taking an active role in this. So my name is Brittany Lovely, and I have had the privilege of co-chairing the Voting Rights Restoration Working Group, who have been working on the Democracy Restoration Act. As Breon said, voting rights restoration is voting rights work. And the DRA is the embodiment of our commitment to civil rights, racial justice, and the principles that we are promised by our democracy. This act holds the power of so much transformation for our society. It's not just a political document, but a testament to our belief in building a nation that truly reflects each and every voice of our communities. For me, this is personal. 8 years ago, I released from prison with $40 and a bus pass. I returned to my community, went back to school to pursue my college education. This was the middle of the 2016 election cycle, and there were so many passionate conversations around me about the future of our country. But I felt like an outsider. I felt like I had no voice. I wasn't a full citizen. So having this deep desire to get involved in my community, I started looking around and researching about my restoration process. See, I had been told that my rights would be taken away, but there was no clarity about if, when, or how I might get them back. So I talked to everyone I could think of. I talked to my corrections officer, I talked to election staff, I talked to the county clerk, I talked to the people on my college campus who were registering people to vote. I got multiple different answers, I got pointed in different directions, and nobody knew, right? There was no clarity. So I thought it would be best to leave it in the hands of the professionals, right? Trust my government, trust the process. So I registered to vote. I figured if I was eligible, I would receive my voter registration card. If I was ineligible, I would be denied. Well, I received my voter registration card and I cast my ballot. Now we're on the edge of our seats because we were talking about earlier, a lot of people have gone through this process with no clarity. I, luckily, was in a state that had already been doing some work on rights restoration. So I cast my ballot and I received no negative consequences. But that is not the story for everyone across the country. Going through the exact same thing as me, asking everyone, trying to get involved, wanting to cast their ballot, be citizens. So I had an inroad. But herein lies the problem. This patchwork of laws across our country is confusing, and it creates this standard that comes up with two different problems, right? One, people are disenfranchised who would otherwise be eligible because they don't want to break the law. The other is people are told they're eligible and they're prosecuted for casting their ballot. So the DRA provides a clear solution to both of these problems. And it promotes civic engagement and trust in elections. So despite 56% of American voters believing that voting should be a guaranteed right for citizens 18 and older, regardless of incarceration status, regardless of conviction history, 4.6 of our neighbors who are living in communities, working in community, paying taxes, raising families, they are barred from the ballot. So voting is not just about picking a person to represent you. It's about fully engaging in building the kind of community you want to live in. It's about shaping the world around you. It's about believing in something better. My journey taught me that democracy is not merely an abstract concept. It is a tangible force that has the power to heal. When we are denied the right to vote, we are denied the opportunity to participate in our communities. We are denied the opportunity to participate in the decisions that shape our lives, our communities, and our nation. We are denied the chance to truly belong. We understand that true justice lies not in the perpetual isolation of individuals, but in the ability to claim their rightful place as active, engaged citizens. Passing the Democracy Restoration Act sends a resounding message that we refuse to accept a democracy that silences, marginalizes, or excludes any of its people. I stand before you today not just as an activist, but as a living testament to the transformative power of democracy. 8 years ago, I released with $40 and a bus pass. Since then, I've graduated with multiple degrees. I've served in different capacities in state government. I've led on policy issues such as this, and I've shared my story for the betterment of our society. This fall, I will begin my next journey, attending Georgetown Law in pursuit of my JD.
That's awesome.
Our communities are better when everyone has a voice, when everyone has a vote. So I urge you all to raise your voices, share your stories, and advocate for the passage of the Democracy Restoration Act. Share your voting rights story using the hashtag #RestoreOurVote. Together, we can and we will create a powerfully inclusive democracy that we were promised.
Very good.